Oh, well, I think we're live. I think we're live. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're there. Good evening, folks. How you can tell I've not done this for a while because I genuinely had no idea what I was doing, Mal. I am losing the plot. I clicked to go live. It didn't go live. And then I was like, okay. Interesting. Nothing happened. And then I realised that I'd completely not set it up right. So, Gorney as well. Hello, sir. How are you? How are you both? Are we well? Can you believe it's been... It was Christmas Eve the last time I did one of these. Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve. How terrible is that? How terrible is that? I'm assuming my audio is actually working. It is working. Yes, it is. God, I need to do this more often because I am like just dazzled right now. Oh, yes. Jackie can hear me. That's good. I know everybody can hear me because it's registering the audio, so it should be fine. It should be fine. But it's been, as I say, it's been a little while since I've. Hey, 2 and 8. It's tea. It's definitely tea. I don't do coffee. I don't do coffee. You know, it's not my thing. I've not positioned this very well because I can't see the bloody chat properly because there's a bloody cable in the way. I want a bit Michael Caine there. My name is Michael Caine, and I am a nosy neighbour. There we go. Right, I can see now. What time is it for you right now? It is 25 to 9 in the PM. Grounded. It could be Grounded Tech Tea. And I was like, you know what? I could have that as the stream name. You know. But then there's too many like channels that have got like Tech Tea in them and things like that. So I was like, let's not. Don't want to copy. I've got it in a Starbucks cup though. It's a Starbucks mug for tea or coffee if needed. It's a nice mug actually. Only problem is it goes cold really quickly. Not something I thought about when I bought it. Yeah, I mean everything's got tech in it, right? I was thinking the tea part because I was thinking of having like Grounded Tech Tea as the stream name, but then people have got tea in there for numerous things. So I was like, it's not. So I went with Talk instead because nobody has that, right? Yeah. How are we doing though? How are we all? How are we on this fine weekend of terrible weather? We actually went to the seaside. We went to the seaside. I am playing a little bit of music and intentionally not giving you it, yes. Yes. It's just for me to keep my mind going, you know? Because I'm doing it all through Restream, I'm not even sure if I can put the audio input. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't think I can. But I'm using Restream. I nearly streamed from OBS. If I just streamed straight from OBS, then I would be able to do it. But I like to have this sort of thing. I mean, I probably could set it up to do both, but, you know. Oh, you're tired. Tired? You been working? Or are you working now? Laura's here to torment. It's kind of what she does. She's a professional at it. Jimmy the Fire Dragon is in the chat. How are we all? We are well. We are well indeed. We're here to talk a bit of tech. As I was saying, the first time since Christmas Eve, which is pretty terrible. I won't lie. I'll give myself a slap on the wrist for that, I promise. But we've got a few things to talk about. Gorny, I appreciate the lurk, buddy. I appreciate that lurky lurk. You know, you see all these things on Twitter. We've got Andrew Walker in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. Can't believe you're drinking a tea. What's wrong with drinking a tea? Just because yours is coffee and crime. I don't need a rival like tea stream. Like tea and good things. So, there's been a few things talked about on Twitter this week. We've had lots of stuff on the Xiaomi 13 Ultra that we've been seeing. People getting their units, reviewers and such. A few videos about. There's been a lot of talk on Twitter, though, of the Pixels. So, we've got the upcoming Pixel Fold. We've got the Pixel 7a. Lots of talk on price, specs. Seemingly, people getting very worked up about it. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Pixel stuff. I think that's probably going to make up the majority of the stream, to be honest. And then we'll talk about whatever else we can think of. Apparently, there was a rocket ship launch as well the other day. I heard it went very, very well, and I like rockets, so we'll talk a bit about rockets maybe. But Pixel. Should we do Pixel Fold first? We should probably do Pixel Fold first, shouldn't we? Yeah. So there was a little video that came out. Was it yesterday or the day before? Let's have a quick look. I'll share it. So this one here. So people were talking. This was a hot topic on Twitter yesterday. Very hot topic. And people were talking about the bezels in particular. Now, obviously, it looks like it folds completely flat, which is very, very nice. And apparently, they're using something very similar to the Galaxy Fold 5 hinge. The bezel, to me, looks fine. But a lot of people have been very unhappy about it, saying that it's going to cost a lot of money. It's rumored at like $1,700. Which is a lot. I'm not going to lie, it is a lot. I kind of think, Jimmy, that it looks like a Surface Duo, but with a foldable screen. OnePlus Leap, they're foldable. I did see that. We'll have it. We'll take a peek at that as well, actually. I could see a damn thing, so I didn't even talk about it. How you doing, Sap? I can understand people getting a little bit worked up about bezels, but I kind of feel like with the way that this kind of foldable is going to be used, especially when it's folded out like that, you're going to have to use two hands, right? You're going to have to use two hands because it's just going to fall off. It's pretty wide. If you're using, say, a Galaxy Fold, because of that narrower aspect ratio, you can quite easily hold it in one hand and use it, right? You can hold it in one hand and like watch whatever you're doing or read something, whatever. I don't think you'll really be able to do that with the Pixel Fold. So having the slightly thicker bezel at the bottom and the top, whichever way you're going to be holding it, is going to be beneficial for when you are actually using it, because you don't really need that bezel on a Galaxy Fold 4 because of the aspect ratio, in my opinion. So imagine you are, if you say like you use it like a book. I think it's like the Surface Duo philosophy. Like they wanted it to be a bit like using a book, and the way you hold a book, you do tend to hold the bottom of the book, like your thumb is on the page. And I think that's sort of why the bezel is the way it is. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. Oh, let's have a look at the comments here. We've got quite a few. All it is the phone opening and closing. Can't see the back. Don't know anything about the hinge mechanism. Meh. I mean, it shows a fair bit. Obviously, we're not seeing the front screen. We're seeing how it folds. It looks like it folds flat. No gap, which is good. So, oh, we got Barry in the chat. Hello, Barry. I didn't see you there. Good day, sir. It's a leak, Sep. You know, it's a leak. We just have to wait and see what else comes along. Laura doesn't like. Don't be surprised. She hates foldables. She doesn't think they're natural. So basically, ignore everything she says. 2NA. I need someone to order me on a Magic 5 Pro from the UK so I get all the freebies. Hey, it's a good deal, right? They're really pushing hard in the UK. It's interesting to see. Especially with the fact that Oppo aren't releasing their flagship series there now. The X6 isn't coming to the UK, so it's good to see a company like Honor really pushing on with that. I do find it a bit strange because I thought that Oppo sold better than a lot of the other Chinese brands in the UK. So I'm not really sure what the philosophy is. If, like they've said, they're focusing on foldables in the UK, which seems a bit unusual, but I would have thought foldables would be more expensive to make than a standard slab phone. Because apparently we are getting the full fold at some point from Oppo or OnePlus, so we'll have to wait and see. It's not a phone. It looks like the Fold 2 but larger. I like the look of the Oppo Fold M1 better. Do you mean the Fold? Do you mean the Find N2? Sap. I do like the Find N. The Find N2 does look very, very good. But I think it's probably the Find N2 probably an even smaller. It's got an even smaller screen, I think, on the outer screen, hasn't it? I think. We'll have to wait and see. What do you think about the cost, guys? Because like they're talking about $1,700 with a free Pixel watch. So I might actually keep it this time because I sold mine straight away. I felt like I had no use for it, but it was so hard to sell. So hard to sell. Too much for a Tensor 2? Yeah, I get that. I get that. I do get that. People are saying too much for a Tensor 2 and too much for that kind of bezel as well. I think it's a tricky one because yes, I think the form factor's perfect. It's a difficult one because I kind of feel like Tensor 2 is enough power for most people, right? But it is cheap for Google to use that chip. So, you know, we've got to think about the fact that they're not going to be producing anywhere near the numbers of folds that Samsung make with the Galaxy Folds, right? I'm thinking the Pixel Fold's going to be in quite small numbers. I mean, they're not in loads of as many markets anyway to start with. So that's surely going to affect their manufacturing costs off the bat because they're not producing as many, and that increases the cost. That's what happened with the Surface Duo. You produce less, it costs more, right? And this is the thing. Knowing Google will ban the fall if it flops. I don't think it's going to sell that much anyway, which is why I think it's priced so expensive, is because they can cover the cost on each one made quite easily. And they don't have to worry too much about selling loads of units. It's a first-gen device. It's just about testing the waters. They need some sort of fold because everybody's making one. Is it a good idea for them to get in quite early? Especially with the US market. There's opportunity there, isn't there? But I do think that maybe the second version will be the one to go for. There might be a bigger push. Tensor G3 might be a hell of a lot better. We'll see. And they might reduce the cost a little bit as the screen and hinge costs come down. Holler at your boys in the chat. Hello, sir. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome in. It is a good chip for most people, but for $1,700, I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, it's a very different foldable to something like a Galaxy Fold, in my opinion. I kind of feel like the Fold is a workhorse. You've got DeX, you've got the Snapdragon chip in there as well for all the power. Pixels are always more of a casual thing. Sure, Tensor G2, Tensor in general can do really good things with video editing. Oh my god, my words. Rendering, that sort of stuff. 4K video, it's fantastic. So you can do a lot with a Pixel, but there's no desktop mode for a start. So that's one disadvantage that the Pixel Fold's got already. The only other area that it's going to be better in is the camera. Seems to have a little bit of a strange camera setup. Let me share this screen. I'm 95 Google, so I've got all the details of what John Prosser leaked over at Front Page Tech. So $17.99, 256 gigs storage, comes in chalk and obsidian, free Pixel Watch, yay! May 10th pre-order, shipping date of June 27th. That's quite a gap. UFS 3.1 storage. I mean, I like the look of it. Don't get me wrong. The form factor's just perfect, and I don't mind the bezel. As I say, I do not mind the bezel. So, oh, the outer display is 5.8. So I think that's the same as the Find N2, right? The Find N2 is 5.8. So specs interesting. Cameras, 48 megapixel main sensor. So it's not it's not the same cameras that you get in, say, a Pixel 7 Pro. But they should still be very, very good. I mean, there's no reason why these cameras... It's Pixel. They're always decent. There's very rarely an issue with them. I do think it would be best cameras on a foldable, but you're not buying a foldable for cameras, right? If you want the best cameras, you buy a slab phone. You buy a Pixel 7 Pro if your Pixel's what you want, or you can go for something like a Xiaomi 13 Ultra or a Find X6 Pro if you really want to go there. Or an S23 Ultra if, you're kind of limited to Samsung, which you guys in the US generally are. So it is going to be a tough sell. It's going to be a really tough sell. I don't... Is there something that they're bringing with this foldable that we don't know about yet? I mean, it's possible. but I can't see how just making a Pixel a foldable really adds much. I don't know what it's bringing to the market for 1,700 pecs. Maybe. Can you imagine though? I mean, it would actually be pretty cool if they went, oh, it's a full Chromebook as well when you hook it up to a desktop, or something ridiculous like that. Even though that should be on every single Pixel anyway, or even every Android phone that's got enough power. It would be maybe something they could use to try and sell it. I don't know. I just don't know what, other than it making a really good Kindle, I don't know what it's going to do. God knows. God knows. At least it's got a 5x telephoto. I mean, that's all right. I would have preferred like a 3 or a 4, to be honest, but I think that's all right. I think that's fine. Who's actually going to pick one up, though? Any of you guys picking one up? Because I think I will probably get one for a short while. Google giving away the watch since they didn't sell any and have too many in stock. Keep the watch and drop the price by 300. Yeah. Yeah, it's it'd be nice. I mean, the trouble is you can't sell the watch for anywhere near that anyway. I got the watch with the Pixel 7 Pro and I sold it for less than half the cost. Like brand new. I didn't even take it out of the box. It was so difficult to sell. So, you know, you don't really get a lot for it anyway. But like you say, they've not really sold many. Not at that price. I mean, the price is too much, and the battery life is just so bad that. Don't get me wrong. When I tried it in store compared to like a Galaxy Watch, it's so much smoother. It was nice to use, but I could do with it being a little bit bigger and having better battery life, and then I would have probably considered keeping it. But as it is, it's not really a watch that's suitable for me, in all honesty. How are you boys gonna be getting a fold? The fold? Are we talking the Pixel Fold still? Or are we talking a Galaxy Fold? Everything's a fold now. You know, you say fold, and it's like, oh, Samsung. Now you say fold, it's like it could be anything. Ah, good tea. Not 100% sold on Pixel Fold yet. Yeah, I'm gonna. It's gonna depend on the release of the Xperia 1 Mark V, because if that's coming out within 2 weeks of the Pixel Fold will not get a look in from me at all. Ibrahim is in the chat. Hello, sir. How are you? What shall we talk about then next? I mean, we may as well stick with Pixel and look at the Pixel 7a. Yeah. I don't know why I've gone German. Okay. So this seemed to be the one that people talked about a lot. Even more so than the Pixel Fold, I think. Which I thought was interesting. We'll share the screen again. So, can I just say again? I mean, we've probably spoken about it multiple times now. And this blue colour is absolute fire. I love that. Absolutely love that. So, $499. Got Neil here as well, a friend of mine. He put the price there at £399 and $449, but everyone else was talking about $499. So at $499, it's still more expensive than the 6A, I believe. But Tensor G2, 64 megapixel camera, 90Hz display, which obviously that was the one thing that everybody was in uproar about last time around with the 6A having a 60Hz panel. 90Hz now. Aluminium frame. Wireless charging. Wireless charging. 90Hz display. Upgraded cameras. Upgraded body. Quite a nice set of upgrades, right? We've got Mobile Man Dan in the chat. Hello, sir. Hope you're well, man. 7A will be recommended for all family. Indeed, I agree. I'm the same. But then, to an A, what if the Pixel 7 is cheaper to buy? Or the same price? What then? What then? I would say I would still buy the 7A for the family. Yes, I would still do that. It's still a bit smaller. The cameras will still be more practical. And in all fairness, when you're talking about contract costs, the 7A is still going to cost less than the 7. It's still going to cost less than the 7. Yeah, it is rumored at $499. Dan. 7A will have more support. It's got will it have more support? Or does it? I think it has the same support, right? Security updates will go a little bit longer, but it's not going to be, you know, you're probably going to upgrade it within 5 years, I would have thought. But you still recommend it. I'd still recommend it. If I had a 7A and a 7 at the same price, and I was recommending it for, say, my dad, I'd still recommend the 7A. Because he prefers a smaller phone. I think it's a bit smaller still, isn't it? I think it's still like 6.1 inch. Whereas the 7's a bit bigger. So I would still recommend that. But people seem to be getting very very worked up over the price. Sure, it's only 5-watt wireless charging. Hey, still wireless charging, right? Keep my phone for like 3 months. I need those support years. I feel you. I do. It's funny. Can't say I'm much different. I'm literally taking my Xperia 5 Mark IV back tomorrow, and I'm swapping it in a few days for an Xperia 1 IV. Yeah, I'm going back to it for the second time. But as a bonus, as a free item with the 1 Mark IV, I get a 10 Mark IV. It's perfect. Only 5 watts. What? Only 5 watts. So what's the point? I get that, Jimmy. I got it. Clever. I see what you did. It'll still charge the phone. It's like all those people still using Apple chargers at 5 watts on their 14 Pros, you know? Yeah. Yeah. It'll still charge. Yeah, it's not a bad deal. And I like the 1 IV more than the 5 Mark IV, so I'm gonna use it a bit more again. I'm going to do a video talking about the 1 Mark IV and the 5 Mark IV. So, yeah. See, now 2NA's at it as well. Like, he's going at it as well. Same joke. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It'll still charge. It'll still charge. I mean, I don't use wireless charging that much. I mean, I have this, which I think this is only like 5 watt, probably 5 watt wireless charging. So that's my old Nokia JBL speaker. I should probably like turn off screen share. You can see it better, that one. It's the one that came with the Nokia Lumia. You know, you could buy it with Nokia Lumias. Had the partnership with Nokia. It's a really good speaker, actually. Wireless charging on it still works, but I think it's 5 watt. Or something along those lines. So it's, yeah, the only wireless charger I use occasionally. My Nothing phone's been sat on there from time to time, but I'm selling that as well. I'm selling this, and guess what? I'm selling my Mac. The Mac that I got back in October, 6 months ago. I'm selling it because I miss PC and I want to play games again. So I'll get money back from the Mac. I'll have some money left over when I build a PC. Sell this, some other bits, and maybe we'll get maybe there'll be a Xiaomi on the horizon. We'll see. Maybe, just maybe. So it's, you know, I still have my NAD Viso 1. See, now you've lost me. You're far more technical than me. NAD Viso 1? What? Is it something really, really old? Right, I've found... Let's have a look. Ooh. Well, that's a bit fancy. That is a bit fancy. Jim, how we doing? I was just saying I'm selling the Mac. The Mac has been listed on eBay tonight. And, yeah, it's going to be PC time soon. Sounds amazing. Nice. How much did that cost originally? Oh, on here it says it cost £500 when it was tested. That's a pricey bit of kit. I think these were about $250-ish or something. I can't remember. Might have been $299. So it wasn't quite as high end. But I just wanted it because of the colour. And I think it was like years later I got it off eBay for like 99 quid. New acoustic dimension. Barry knows things. Alright, Barry. It's just... I know the names of some things. Yeah. Yep. I'm hoping it'll be gone this week. If it's gone this week, new PC. Can order my parts. Although, I'm kind of changing my mind on the parts again. I'm not going to lie. I keep saying that I'm going to build it with an ARC, and I want to, but at the same time, there's a bunch of old games that I play, and I have a feeling that ARC's not going to run them. So, there's some really, really good deals on AMD GPUs right now, and I think I'm probably going to get one of those. I'm still going to stick with the Intel CPU. Right? I'm not changing my mind on that. Even though a 7900X3D is looking tempting. Okay? I won't do it. I will stick to the i7 13700K. Yes. Mate, I can get, for like just over 600 quid, I can get a 6950 XT. 6950 XT for 612 quid. Or the 6800 XT for 533, I think it was. Like, the performance of those cards is so good. So I think I'll do that, and then I'll wait for Battle Mage. If Battle Mage is any good next year, I'll look at that maybe. I just want more performance, basically. I prefer AMD CPU, Nvidia GPU. Yes, they are, Jimmy. Yes, I forgot that they were streaming tonight, and I seem to have clashed with them, so that's my bad. So here's the thing, 2NA. I am normally an all AMD person. I've been all AMD since I built my first PC back in 2017, which was a Threadripper. Yes, my first PC build was a Threadripper. But I've been liking what Intel have been doing this last couple of generations with their CPUs. And I think for what I do in terms of video editing and streaming and things, it's really, really handy to have the P cores and the E cores separately, so you can offload like streaming to the E cores, and then the P cores are focused on the gaming. That sort of stuff's really, really interesting. Whereas AMD sort of have a little bit of a core shortage now, as such, especially in the sort of the mid range. So I like AMD CPUs, but I think the 8000 series is probably going to be the one to wait for. And I'm a big fan of Radeon. I've bought AMD GPUs pretty much the whole time. Nvidia, I had a 3070 in my laptop that I had recently, but Nvidia, in my opinion, are not a company that I want to support, because they're basically just trying to fleece people, and they're just trying to make people pay more for less. i386 in the mid-90s. Damn, man. It's crazy. I couldn't even tell you what my first computer was. A Windows 98 off the shelf, some sort of HP, maybe? I can't even remember. That's how bad it is. I had a choice, right? So, like, my dad was... Because my mum and dad were separated. And my dad was like... So, he's like... We can go on a holiday to Disney World in Paris. Or... You can have a computer. Computer it was. Boom. Done. I only want to play games on it. I mean, I didn't even know anything about it at the time, so I didn't even know what games I could play on it. I just assumed buy a PC, it'll play the games. Because as a kid, I was like, buy a console, play the games. So buy a PC, it'll play the games. I didn't know anything about this shit, right? I didn't know a lot about PCs for years. But I was all about like Roller Coaster Tycoon, Command and Conquer, Total Annihilation, Warzone 21, like RTS games and stuff like that was my thing. So yeah, crazy. Loved it. You went from a 3900X to a 3700X. That's a nice upgrade, though. That's a nice upgrade. You agree on the Nvidia criticism total is a 3070? Yeah, I mean, just look at like the VRAM issue with the 3070 now. I imagine you're well aware of that anyway, but yeah. I love PC gaming, I love tinkering, yeah. It's something that I took a long time to get into, to be honest, because even when I had gaming PCs, I still stuck to consoles for playing mostly, because I was a big Halo player. I loved playing Halo, so I played Halo most of the time from Halo 1 until just before Halo 4. So I was on Xbox a lot. Then Call of Duty as well, and Battlefield. And eventually started playing PC, mostly because of MMOs. So, yeah, and then I got into streaming. So AMD stuff just made sense at that point. Really? It doesn't sound bad because I'm actually pretty similar when it comes to first person shooters. I can only really play first person shooters and the majority of games on a controller. If I try and play on PC, I'm absolutely awful. It's mostly because I struggle with the keyboard side of things. So it's not the WASD part, it's the other bits, you know? And I suppose it's all about mapping your buttons and stuff and doing all that kind of thing, but I never really got on with the only shooter that I actually play on mouse and keyboard that I actually prefer over controller is Destiny 2. I don't know why. I don't know why, but Destiny 2 just feels so much better on mouse and keyboard compared to controller. Strange. I was the idiot who bought two 3070s. I screwed up badly. That is rough. Shall we have a quick look at this OnePlus foldable? Let's see if we can find it. This does look quite interesting. It does look interesting. So, yeah, it's looking pretty. I mean, in-display fingerprint sensor puts me off straight away, though. That's one thing I'm not that keen on. I'll be honest. The camera sensors look good. IMX890, 50 megapixel optical image stabilization plus a 48 megapixel ultra wide, 32 megapixel periscope. So that looks all right. That's obviously 8 Gen 2, UFS 4.0, solid battery size, very good charging speeds, alert slider. Apparently got quad speakers, so that could be very, very good. And it looks like it's a very similar form factor to the Vivo. Is it the X Fold? That could be really nice. That could be really nice. I think if it adds back in some of the features that they lost with the OnePlus 11, like the video out and things like that, I think that could be a mega phone. That would definitely interest me. Be pretty good for gaming purposes, all being well. But again, it's going to come down to software. Like it's all well and good having the nice hardware, but we need to make sure that the software is there. And I do worry that some of the the BBK brands are just maybe not there on software. Samsung's obviously got that advantage. I'm hoping Google can do something there. I kind of feel like maybe that's the advantage that they'll have some really good software that'll make the Pixel Fold appealing, but it's going to be really difficult to see. RAM for Android 12, yeah, I agree. This Xperia 5 Mark IV, it's actually got 8, and I've had RAM management issues on this. I haven't on anything else, but I think everything else that I've had mostly has been like 12. The Xperia 1 Mark IV, I didn't have those issues, and that's got 12. So I guess I'll find out soon enough when I go back to it. But yeah, I'd say 12. And Apple does Apple things that I don't really look at too much these days. Running 6 at the moment. I am sort of like, is it worth upgrading my Samsung S20 FE? Yes. I mean, if you feel you need another phone anyway. I mean, it might do everything you want it to do. If it does, stick with it. May as well. Unless there's something specifically that you feel really needs upgrading. How have we been on for 45 minutes already? Always. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, isn't it? May as well. What's your main phone at the minute, 2NA? What? Because I can't remember. Don't use mobile much. I was trying to work out if an upgrading the investment is worth it for me. If you don't use it much, mate, don't upgrade it. In all honesty, if you don't use your phone much, and it's just a tool to get things done, as and when you need it, just get a mid-range phone that'll last you a while, like a Pixel. Like the Pixel 7a that's coming up, or even a Pixel 7. That'll last you, what, 5 years? Say 4 or 5 years. And it's an actual smartphone. It will help you with things. Like, it is super useful. S23 Ultra, 7 Pro Fold 4, new device I can't speak about yet. Ooh. Fancy pants? Eh? Mr. Fancy over there. So, I've used the Fold 4. I had the Fold 4 for a couple of months. Really liked it. Wasn't too keen on the cameras at times. 7 Pro, same. I had that just over a month, and I enjoyed using it. I enjoyed using it a lot more than the Pixel 6 Pro. But the telephoto just wasn't as much for me because it's, the 5x over 4x. I didn't feel it was worth having over the Pixel 6 Pro. So I returned that and that's when I got the Fold. S23 Ultra, I actually have one coming. A friend of mine is loaning me it for a month. So I'm going to be able to have a look at that, check it out. It's going to be my first experience on the 8 Gen 2, which is cool. And be able to compare. I think I'm going to do a bit of photography comparison to the Xperia 1 Mark IV. Just to sort of show how different the photography experience is with an Xperia. I'm not going to do it as a sort of look at which one's better sort of thing. I'm just going to talk about the difference and the varying experience. I know I'll prefer the Xperias anyway, but yeah, just be interesting to compare. Was looking at the Asus Zenfone 8. Oh, you mentioned that before, didn't you? It's on sale for $339. I was going to say, I think I mentioned this to him before though as well, TNI, because we've spoke about it in DMs on Twitter before, me and Jim, but the Zenfone 9 is fantastic. I'd really like one. Not least of all because it's got a headphone jack. And the colours look awesome. The design's great. It's small. It's got a good sized battery. I think it's an 8 Plus Gen 1 that it's got in there. So it's a solid phone. I wouldn't get the 8. I don't remember the 8 being that great. If you're going to spend around 350-ish, I would potentially look at... I mean, you can go even cheaper than that. You can get Pixel 6s cheaper than that. 350-ish though. I mean, you're going to be able to get... I wouldn't be surprised if you get Pixel 7a's at that price soon enough. Because the price will drop quick. You'll get them. They'll be available secondhand at 350 pretty quickly. Yeah, S21 FE or 6A. Hell, you can get a Pixel 6 Pro for that price. I mean, the screen on my 6 Pro's kind of knackered. It's got like burn marks and stuff in it and whatever else. Scratches. And that cost me... I bought that secondhand off somebody for like $350, but it's a 256GB version. Still a great phone. You get loads of Pixel 6 Pros at that sort of price. Dave. Hello, good sir. I hope you are well. Or at least doing as well as you can, mate. Will the fold be visible? I hope they keep the build quality solid with no issues. Hope you had a great weekend. Thank you, mate. I still think you're going to see the fold. You're still going to see the crease. I don't think it's going to be drastic. It looks like it's a different hinge. It's a better hinge. It's going to be something similar to the Fold 5s, the Galaxy Fold 5s. So it'll fold flat. It shouldn't be quite as obvious. I'm hoping that the way they're charging it and how much it costs means that actually the build quality is really, really good. I don't think Google can afford to have a dodgy foldable on the market. I think they need to make it solid. It needs to work. Because if they don't capture any mindshare straight away when this Galaxy Folds on their 5th generation out, there wouldn't really be much of a way back for it, I don't think. I hope you've had a good weekend as well, man. But I will say, Dave, to be fair, that with the Galaxy Fold 4, you could see the crease. That didn't even fold flat. And it never bothered me. It never bothered me. The crease really did not bother me at all. So I'll be interested to get hold of it. Hopefully we'll get it on launch day, and I will get on stream pretty rapid as well to unbox it, and then maybe a stream later in the day just to sort of go over the things that I've found with it during the day. Get a couple of streams done and talk about it. I would say as well, though, because Jim's a techie guy, I think he would probably like the standard Pixel 7. I think like 2NA says, the 7A, definitely a good choice if you're going to be able to push to 500. 7 is also a choice as well. Or Jim, if you want to spend just over 300 quid, I can sell you my nothing phone, because I'm selling this currently. Yes. Perfect condition. I do good deal for you. Good deal. All these folding phones won't mean a thing when Apple releases theirs. I mean, ain't that the truth? I mean, I really can't wait for Apple to invent folding phones. Matt the Techie, hello, sir. How you doing? Hope you're well. And as 2NA says, the Nothing phone is really good. In fact, Jim, if you are somebody that isn't using your phone loads, you're not that fussed about having fancy cameras, and you just want a phone that just does things and does things well, I'll be honest, this thing's fantastic. It's so good. So good. I am literally only selling it. I am literally only selling it because I want money to get a Xiaomi 13 Ultra. I want that phone. I want it now. Good on a Sunday, family and wine. Damn right. It sounds like you're having a good Sunday, mate. A good one. Nothing Phone is a mid-range phone that pretends to be a flagship. Honest to God, like, it looks better than most flagships. It's such a nicely built phone. I mean, look at it. It's just spot on. Like, it's great. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to sell it because it's like a day one device for a new brand. I don't want to sell it. I don't want to sell it. Do you see that? You see that, Jim? He goes, nothing Phone, what's deal with that? No, nothing about him. Nothing. Get it? Nothing. Yeah? Yeah. He's a smart one. He's a smart one. Nobody's saying it's a flagship, but if you give it a better screen, it is a flagship. I'll be honest with you. I like the screen on it. I've had no... I honestly feel like it's decent. It's definitely, when I compared it to the Pixel 6a screen, which at the time they were both around the same price. Pixel 6a screen, so dim. Like, the brightness on the Nothing Phone is way brighter. You had an issue with brightness? I think we might have even talked about that on Twitter, you know. I'm sure it was either me and you that had a conversation or somebody else. Brightness was the one thing I was actually quite thankful for because in the last few years, I've used Pixels and I've used Xperias, and both of those phones have had issues with screen brightness. So I got the Nothing Phone. I was like, damn, this screen is bright. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I don't make my screen that bright anyway. Jim, if you did decide to do it, mate, I would do it for a pretty cheap cost, and I've got like 4 cases you can have for it as well. 3 or 4 cases, I think. So I'd throw them in as well. Of course, I compared it to the S23 Ultra, yes. That's what I did with the Galaxy A13, mate. Compared it to as good a phone as possible. An iPhone, of course, because they're the best. Don't we now? Nothing Phone 2 is on the horizon. It is. Flagship chipset. Hopefully a better screen. Hopefully better cameras. It's going to go up in cost, though, isn't it? It's going to go up. I'll give you $25. Ooh. What's the value of the dollar these days? I think it's pretty good, right? Compared to the pound. Although the pound apparently has rebounded a little bit. Although the market's a total shit anyway, so you know. Hey ho. Ooh, who stole my blue tick? Oh, Twitter's so much fun at the minute. Oh, I love it. I honest to God, like, I realize a lot of people dislike Elon Musk. I am not one of those people. I am all for the trolling. I want to see all the trolling non-stop. Because it's just funny. It's just funny. People getting so worked up. I would buy it, but I'm saving up for my Twitter verification, so... The thing is, Matty, right? The thing is... that would have been the case on old Twitter because people were paying thousands for blue ticks. So you don't need to do that, mate. Just pay $8. $8. £1 equals 80 pence. That's not bad. $1. £1 equals 80 pence. Jesus Christ. $1 equals 80 pence. I can't even read, mate. I just can't read. I can't read. I got English. Did anybody watch the Starship launch? My God, that was exciting. Appreciate it, Matty, mate. Take it easy, man. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I will catch you about the Twitterverse. Thanks for tuning in, man. It was explosive. Yeah, it was. Yeah. A successful explosion. It's funny because I did enjoy the reaction on Twitter. It was amusing. It was like people laughing that it's blown up. Like, oh, it's blown up. That was pointless. Ugh. But like they weren't even expecting it to get off the ground. Like they were expecting it to blow up. It's a test. I really wanted to chase verification back in the day. Couldn't be less interested now, but love seeing Elon's tweets. Yeah, same. I think at the end of the day, you know, it is trying to do different things with Twitter. Everyone gets worked up. I think on the day that he took over and he was like, we are going to be trying a lot of things and some of those things will be really stupid, but we're going to try them anyway. And then everyone's confused. Everyone's getting angry when he does stupid things. He literally told you he was going to do stupid things. I don't know. It's just amusing. Guys, it's been over an hour already. I don't know how. It's crazy. It's been over an hour. We didn't really talk much about the Xiaomi 13 Ultra, but all I can say is I want it, and I want it now. I just want it. There's some pretty good prices over on Trading Shenzhen. Oh my God, I can't even pronounce things. Shenzhen. Chinese not my strong point. Wonder Mobile selling it as well. So I am looking at that. You'll wait for global. Well, they're doing the 13 Pro with the European ROM on there. It's not that long since the 13 Pro came out, so I don't really know what the difference is between the Chinese ROM and that, but I imagine you can flash it yourself if you need to at some point. I would assume. But the global's going to be expensive, man. Global's going to be so expensive, especially if they release it in UK. I mean, the 13 Pro's over $1,000. Android service is net native. Android Auto won't work. I don't drive, so Android Auto for me is not a problem. Yeah. It was the launch pad that was a mess, though. Bunch of weird Chinese apps and language. Right. I'll keep a note of that. Maybe I'll just go for the 13 Pro or something like that. I kind of want the Ultra though because I want to get like the camera attachment and stuff. So maybe I'll wait. I'll wait on that and go for a global version. Just depends how much more it is. That's the only problem. So it might just push it out of my price range. Yeah, I agree, man. I thought there was some damage to the launchpad. I think it was like the maybe some artificial damage, but there seemed to be quite a bit of stuff done. Yes, the attachment looks sexy. Use your money tree. I will shake the money tree and get all the money I can. Jim, take it easy, man. I'm off now myself. Guys, thank you very much for hanging. It's been over an hour. It's flown by. And I think we should probably jump across to... Where are we? Yeah. Peter and Direct Tech is on the Nomad Tech project, so we're gonna go across there. So if you can jump across and say hello, there's the link. 2NA, thanks for tuning in, mate, and chatting. It's been really good. And to everybody else, Dave, Matty, Ibrahim, Jimmy Fire Dragon, Mobile Man Dan, Hollery Boy, Barry Johnson, Sepp, lots of people, Gorney, Laura, Andrew Walker, lots of people today. It's been really, really good. I appreciate you guys. If you could drop a like on the stream if you haven't already, that would be appreciated. I will try and do this again soon. It's been since Christmas Eve since I last did this, so I should probably do that more often. We'll try. But take it easy. I'll see you all very soon. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.